Good day. This 301st day, meaningful moments, 365 days. Yesterday, I had spoke a little bit about a conversation that I had with someone on a call center and providing technical support. But it was interesting as the day rolled out that I had conversations with friends and loved ones. And in those conversations, they were sharing bits and pieces of their experiences as of late, things that may have been occurring with individuals around them, at their work, or even with just interpersonal relationships within their immediate circle of people. And what's so interesting to me is that we all have experienced that feeling of being irked. Get irked. Something gets under our skin and we can feel it. Maybe it's something that we're witnessing, a way that a person is behaving or acting, something that we're watching or witnessing on a bigger platform like global news or local news, but something that we're witnessing right in front of us. And we sense that the way it causes that sense of irritation within us. And sometimes, as an observer, we hear these repetitive cycles of individuals that we've all played it out. So it's not just an individual. All of us have played out these roles and these stories and these dramas that repeat themselves in many ways, similarly, slightly different faces, maybe a new different situation, maybe a new employment, a new relationship, but whatever it is, it's playing out in a similar way. And we often don't ask ourselves, like, why? Why do I feel that way? Most of the time, it seems as though when we're in it, we seem to be fairly unaware that it's occurring. And then something really jars us. Usually there's an experience that tends to really jar us, shake us, and then we have to take a closer look. And most of us are not willing to look at what it is that's irking us and actually ask within ourselves, what is this very thing that I see out there that lives in me? And it's so easy to point the finger and to blame others. I've often met people, and I'm sure you have too, that are like, forget people. I just rather would not deal with people at all. And I know many people, even people that, go into really remote places, sometimes it's because they just don't want to deal with all the world affairs. And then there's other people that live in really highly densely populated areas, and all they do is rant and rave about how everyone is all around them. Lived in both of those kinds of settings myself, and what I've come back with in terms of witnessing all these pieces are to ask myself what it is that I'm witnessing that lives in me. And the clearer that I've become about these shadowy places in ourselves that we often don't care to admit to ourselves once we become aware, because as I stated before, a lot of this lives more in the unconsciousness, is that opportunity that we have to get the lesson, understand what's happening around us, even if we're not doing it understanding up here, but accepting what's happening here, being aware of it enough that if it's a repetitive cycle and a pattern that keeps occurring and we get alerted of that, it comes into our awareness. And I'm not saying, we got to spend our time digging and analyzing ourselves, and certainly not being self-critical, but just to have the awareness that once we start to have that ping, there it is again, it's important, especially if we're witnessing a reoccurring situation like a type of an individual that keeps appearing before us, and they have the same kind of way that they're just interacting with us, and we keep seeing, oh yeah, there it is again, there's that kind of individual again. And of course, you know, the way the law of attraction works, we're just going to go ahead and attract everything that inwardly is projecting outward. So we have to get really clear on that. And we have to have that willingness to look within in a non-judgmental way of them or ourselves, but really as an opportunity to learn. And once we get clear, that all begins to shift. And hashtag consciousness shift, which you see a lot of these posts under, and that's this process of evolution and revolution that's happening right now within ourselves as we evolve into these greater capacities to perceive and these dimensions where we actually begin to see the interconnectedness of ourself with everything out here in the outer world, especially all those blessings that we get from all the different kinds of individuals that we encounter, all the life forms that we encounter, all the situations that are brought to us, that are played out so that we can be witness and gain that kind of clarity of what really lives within us. And just the fact that we do that, just the fact that we are bearing witness to our own selves, that's consciousness. That is the awareness expanding within ourselves. And then we can begin to make those kinds of changes. And it is a guarantee that once you get clear on that and once that awareness starts to seep in, look around you, see what you begin to see. See if there hasn't been a shift in what's occurring around you. And when you encounter those situations, how much more compassion you have for the other. And in that, there's a whole new unfolding that takes place. So next time you're feeling irked, see if you have the willingness. Even that's informative. See if you have that willingness in yourself to ask the question within, what is it about that is in me, living in me? How does it speak? What can I learn from that? There's a whole new world that'll begin to unfold, a whole new reality. And these are the blessings, my friend. Aho.